And now, live from Isolation Station in Burbank, California, it's The Plague, Week 64, the Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Alison welcomes her guests. He's a writer and editor at Vanity Fair and author of the upcoming book Stinker Lets Loose. And Randy, the full and complete unedited biography and memoir of the amazing life and times of Randy, it's Mike Sachs. And she's a comedian and actress who's close to landing her dream role as one of the California Raisins. It's Betsy Sodaro. Tone Zone is here to celebrate his inclusion in Forbes' 2021 list of top 100 Tony Thaxtons. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the Love Bus. Say hello to your new best friend, Alison Rosen.
Alison Rosen. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison Rosen, Alison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little peanut butter and pickle sandwiches. Welcome to another exciting episode of Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon by Heidi Lehman. Now, a certain thing, if you are one of my patrons, you know this, and if you're not, a certain thing happens when people are submitting carbs where they'll submit one and then they'll submit it again. And then if I don't pick it, they heat up and they really want this one to be taken by me, chosen by me. Sometimes other people who are subscribers will pick up the mantle and they too will submit this one. Butterscotch Haystacks was submitted for I want to say 12 to 14 months before finally I was backed into a corner. I had to choose it. I just felt that peanut butter and pickle sandwiches was heating up. So I said, now's the time. I personally have never had a peanut butter and pickle sandwich. Not a big peanut butter fan, although it does play into a story, which I will tell you later. I don't know how I feel. You know what? I don't think I alone can weigh in on this. I'm going to have to introduce my guests and get their thoughts on whether this is something they would ever eat. Betsy Sodaro, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Everyone loved you on the show last time. There were calls for you to just become a regular, just an instant regular.
Oh, shit. Really? That's so nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a ball.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
It's going to be a fun show. Mike Sachs.
Oh, watch out.
Bona fide comedy. What would I call critic,
No
really?
one knows. No, I'm not a critic.
You're a humorist. You're a humorist, but you're a journalist.
You know, I don't know. I got into journalism to write humor, and it just ended up where I ended up writing both. So I ended up writing, comedy for the written page mostly, but I then ended up interviewing those I wanted, whose work I liked. And most recently it was John Swartzwelder through The New Yorker, who's the most prolific Simpsons writer. He's written,
Yes.
I forget how many exactly, but he's never been interviewed before. And I managed to be able to interview him, which was fun.
All right. I'm just going to start a list here. I've done this for 12 years now. Never actually started a list, but I don't trust my brain anymore. So we got sandwiches, need to find out, and then we got the interview. And I need to get to both of them for sure. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say you're like a comedy enthusiast, but that just makes it sound like you're someone who goes to shows. That's
no,
all
I never
wrong.
go to shows. I never leave my room. I'm Howard Hughes. My toenails are 1 inch long. And I wear,
Your beard
cardboard.
is crazy. It's so long you can't even see
You
it,
see the
man.
Kleenex boxes I'm wearing for shoes? And the Mormons I have for assistants? No, I never go to shows. I'm just a fan of comedy, and I'm lucky enough where I'm able to interview those people I like and I'm fans of. Like, I'm going to interview Bob Odenkirk, whom I'm friendly with.
Oh, cool.
Vince Gilligan for New Yorker. It's just an excuse to talk to people and to pick the brains about comedy.
And then you also write funny stuff too, though.
Yeah, I've written 8 books, working on my 9th now, which is a fake college catalog. And I have 2 books coming out in September. One is a fake memoir, which I supposedly found at a garage sale in Maryland. And the other is a novelization to a fictional 1977 trucking and CV movie called Stinker Lets Loose.
Right. And
Yes.
regular Thursday show guy, Eric Martin,
Love Eric.
did he direct that?
He produced it. He produced the Audible exclusive with John Hamm played Stinker. Ray Seahorn was in it. P.F. Tompkins, Andy Richter, and all these people. That came out about a year and a half ago.
And so now
this is
the book. Is
the book
coming out.
itself. Exactly, will be out in September through Simon and Schuster and Archways. Betsy, I love you. It's a great Greek chorus in the background.
I know.
I like hyping people up. I mean, it sounds
She's
so
awesome.
rad. Everything
Yeah.
sounds so cool.
I was telling a story, and there's a chapter 2 today about something about some insect or something, and she was conveying the exact level of disgust that I would want someone to feel. Tony Thaxton, welcome to the show. Let's see, where are we? 5 minutes in. I did not forget you.
You didn't forget, although you haven't been sticking to my title of the bad boy of podcasting.
I forgot. Sometimes I forget. And
How is that
How
possible?
can you forget that?
I think I got flustered because you're so bad.
Yeah, okay, that checks out.
I got
Yeah, you gotta
nervous.
get used to that. People getting really flustered around you because you're a bad boy.
Because you're so bad.
I don't know this guy. This guy's scary. This guy's
Yeah.
frightening.
He's actually nice. I know, like, the way he looks, you'd think that he might just chew you up and spit you out before lunch. That's
Right.
not a thing people say. But he's actually very nice. He just looks like he just emerged from a cave. And
Terrifying.
yeah.
I look like I just emerged from a cave.
An ant hopped off a motorcycle that was parked in a cave. And
Yeah.
then
Now we're talking.
Yeah,
bad boy.
that's
anyway, and joining us, the original bad boy of podcasting, Tony Thaxton.
Hello.
Who was that?
That was Jackie.
Love it. All right. Okay. Let's address topic number 1. What are the shows that are like topic 1? You know, like a news magazine show. Topic 1. Tony, can you play something to indicate topic 1?
You're talking about a current affair.
Thaxton. Exactly. Yeah, I think that is what I'm looking for. Anyway, topic 1, peanut butter and pickle sandwiches. Where do you guys come down?
Whoa.
I never had that. I know Elvis used to have peanut butter and banana sandwiches, and I used to have something where no one in New York has had it. I grew up eating or drinking Coke with peanuts in it. You ever have that?
I have definitely not.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, you put peanuts into a Coke bottle, a glass bottle, and you drink it, and the salt and the sugar is actually really good. But I've never met anyone who's had it up in New York.
Is this a regional thing or is this a Sachs family thing?
Definitely not a Sachs family thing. It may be a regional thing. I grew up in Virginia, Maryland, and New Orleans, so it might be a regional thing. But I just remember having that. And it's one of those things that I've never, I bring it up at a party or a bar and everyone just looks at me like I'm crazy, but it does exist.
And shell off?
Shell off.
Shell off. And then do you eat them when you're done with your soda? Like,
No.
or if it flows into your mouth, do you chew and swallow?
If it flows in, fine. But if you have to work for it, you just leave it at
Then-
the bottom of the glass.
Okay. Whoa, what?
Do you have judgments about someone who would go in and fish those nuts out? Because I think I'd be in there with a spoon after with my Coke.
You can't
nuts.
put it in because the opening is so narrow. So.
Oh, it's a can.
No, it's a bottle.
A bottle.
It's a
You
glass
said that.
bottle.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shatter
so
the bottle to get the nuts.
Allison loves fishing out nuts.
I love to fish out.
That's awesome.
I would need to do this in a glass so I could enjoy the nuts after.
Yeah, you never did. I mean, I remember as a kid, who was that? What was that?
That was bad boy getting excited.
Did your parents put pills in the bottom of a glass of milk or orange juice where you had to drink the whole thing and then you swallowed the pill?
No.
What?
But
Maybe. I could see my parents maybe doing that.
But that's so easy to not take the pill if you do that. My parents would put it like for the years before I was able to put a pill in my mouth and then take a sip of something and swallow. they would like submerge it in a teaspoon of applesauce, and I just swallowed
That's
the whole
right.
thing.
I did that as well, but then we didn't like the applesauce anymore, so we insisted that he put it in either milk or orange juice, and the goal was just to swallow everything at once, just sort of chug it.
Right. Okay.
Did it work?
It usually did. But that actually leads to another subject, which is an entirely different podcast. I was on codeine for most of my childhood.
Whoa.
My mother was a hypochondriac and potentially a Munchausen by proxy. So for the entirety of my childhood, I would say literally for half of my childhood, I was on codeine for her
what?
biggest, for coughing, and for her big fear was that I would come down with pneumonia. So in order to prevent that, I was on Phenergan with codeine. Now, Phenergan was an anti-nausea, and codeine was an anti-cough. But that's another thing I'll bring up. I said, were you guys on Phenergan with codeine? He's like, what the fuck are
For
you
most
talking
of your
about?
childhood?
Literally.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting too, because neither of those would just treat the side effects of pneumonia, right?
If it even got to pneumonia. I've never had pneumonia, but I did have a cough often, and maybe even a croup cough. And, I have a daughter now, and I've brought her to the doctor maybe 3 times. She's been on on medication a few times. But with my mom, I was driven to the doctor at least twice a month. And this doctor in Virginia he was sort of the Dr. Nick of Virginia, the doctor that handled Elvis's drugs. He would give my mother what she wanted, and what she wanted was codeine.
But did she also want it for herself, or was this just for you?
It was just for me.
Well, I'm sorry. That sounds
Whoa.
less than normal.
It wasn't normal, and I think it sort of messed up my brain chemistry. I think, though, in a good way, ultimately, but at the time, I don't think it's natural to give a child codeine, and I wouldn't ever do that to my child. But I do think that it altered my brain chemistry, and I think because of that, I am who I am today, for better, for worse.
Do you ever cough?
I have a persistent cough.
I was joking, and now I feel that was in poor taste. Do you actually have a persistent cough?
I do. And it's just habit more than anything. I think it's just from having grown up under the guise of someone who had to be sick.
Right.
For her.
Do you have siblings?
I do. One sibling.
And does this person were they also medicated?
They were. And, we both have OCD, anxiety, and depression, and we both handle it in different ways. I became, interested in writing and comedy and reading and movies, and he became religious. So he handled his OCD energy in a different way, went into a different direction. And I sort of very much actually have to produce every day, write every day, and be creative. And if I don't, that's my OCD. I get very nervous. So I do think that the codeine affected us in different ways. He now has to pray every day, and I have to create every day.
Wow. Do you have a relationship with your mom still?
She passed away.
So then does your brother?
Have a relationship.
Because he's religious.
Well, not in his religion. There's no afterlife in his religion.
Really?
No. Mm-mm.
What religion?
No. Orthodox Hasidic Jew.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like without the promise of the afterlife, why even be that religious? Right.
I don't see the importance of religion leading to something better. To me, this is it. I never want to have a pilot or a doctor or anyone who thinks they're going to a better place.
Yes.
I want them to think this is it.
Right.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. And that's what sort of surprises me and confuses me, is that there's so much OCD, so much anxiety, so many rules that he has to follow that he's sort of missing out, I think, on his one opportunity.
Right.
I feel I was raised Catholic, and I feel that pushed me towards OCD, because I was so scared of, okay, if I don't say a prayer at night, the devil's going to get me. And then it formed the more and more. I was like, I don't believe in that stuff, but I do believe that if I don't knock on wood 12 times, I'm going to get sick and die. And like, it just kind of transformed its way.
I think
into-
religion's very OCD, and my girlfriend was raised Catholic, and she has that as well, which I think
Yeah.
is what parents try to do for the kids, is they try to scare them. And the kids not being able to handle what they're being taught sort of turn it into something that they can handle and control, which becomes OCD. They knock 3 times. They look up at
Yeah.
the statue a certain number of times. And then when it becomes about sexuality, it really kind of messes them up.
Big time.
Betsy, do you have OCD tendencies now?
Yeah, but I've really been working on them. And for me, they're it's formed into like germ stuff. I got very I still wash my hands a ton, but I'm also like, well, that's fine now. Like, come on, that's a good thing to do. But like, it was for years and years and years, mostly pointed towards germs and worrying about getting sick.
My 4-year-old licked a handrail in a parking structure the other day. Gross. It was pretty
And
bad.
actually, they should do that, right? The doctors say you should do that. So when you're a kid, like, like the kids who grow up on farms never get sick when they're adults. They're
Right.
around germs or around this or around that. But, with that said, in a million years, I would never let my daughter do that on a subway pole.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was
way.
thinking. I was thinking, after this year of us all being shut-ins, maybe this will be a good boost for his immune system. I was trying to tell myself that after I was like, oh my God, that's the absolute worst thing to be licking right now. But he's in putting his mouth on a lot of things phase.
But what Betsy
So-
was saying is true. I feel like I was ahead of my time because for years, I was opening doors with my elbows. I was holding a subway pole with a paper towel. I would wash my hands 15 times a day. And now that just seems like the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They cut up to you.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Finally, it took a pandemic.
Goddamn
but
right it did.
Got a question, but we need to get everyone else's thoughts on peanut butter and pickle sandwiches. Betsy.
Oh yeah. I've never had it, but I think I would really like it.
I think there might be something surprisingly edible about it. Tony?
I think I feel I didn't know it was a thing. I don't think I'd heard of it until now. I like peanut butter. I like pickles, but I don't. In my head, the two together don't sound good to me.
That's why I'm
But I would
thinking
try it.
maybe there's a surprise. Oh, you know what we tried on the show years ago when it was in person? Do you remember when Cynthia Nixon bought a lox? She bought a lox and cream cheese on wasn't it a cinnamon raisin bagel?
Oh, I've tried that.
What did you think? We tried it, and I was like,
It's very
This-
Gentile. I mean, I've had that before where I've had cream cheese lox on strawberry bagel, blueberry bagel, all those sort of bagels, and it just is not right. You really need to just go all salt, which is either the onions or the garlic or the everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't go sweet. It's just very goyish.
No, I wanted it to, like, the flavors to come together to create a new flavor, but it was just like, oh, I can taste cinnamon, raisins, and fish and cream cheese and onion. This is not working for me. Okay. So, question. Something I was thinking about earlier. And I'm looking for honest answers. You could do a project and either receive a lot of acclaim and attention for it, or a lot of money for it, but like no acclaim, no attention. Which do you choose? And it's not like one or the other for the rest of your life. I'm just saying, like, right now, which would you choose?
I think acclaim and attention for
I
me.
think me too. Yeah.
I
Interesting.
like that stuff.
I think so too. I mean, I think it's
And I'm
always a
used to it.
constant juggle between working on projects that bring in no money that fulfill you versus projects that bring in a lot of money that you're sort of embarrassed by. And but I do think as I get older, it's more about fulfilling my own artistic needs.
Right. So everyone here is saying a claim and attention, though. That's what you would rather have. I
so.
think, this is a theme of the last few months, maybe I would say, maybe less than that, of me trying so hard to be less dependent on external validation. So for that reason, I have decided in this hypothetical, I'm going to go with the money. But I think like what would feed my soul more probably is the approval. But I'm just trying to tell myself that like that's sort of illusory. It doesn't last. Whereas money is actually like that could change your, I don't know, your
Well, I have to
wardrobe or
say,
your life.
This actually hits exactly where what just happened with me. So I wrote an interview. I did an interview with John Swartzwelder for New Yorker, and I got a lot of attention and a lot of acclaim, but very little money. And
Interesting.
Yeah, because it was it was for $1,500 for a New Yorker, but I work at Vanity Fair for Condé Nast. So because of that, I ended up receiving $860 after taxes were taken out. So it's almost half of it. So I was thinking about this. I was like, is it worth it to work months on a piece for acclaim and attention for $860? Whereas if I could work on something and make $10,000 and get no acclaim, I think that's just as worthwhile. Certainly when you have a family to feed. So it has been something I've been thinking about recently.
How many words was it?
It was 6,000 words.
Okay, so this is fascinating. I came up in magazines, journalism, etc. And back in the day, it was like, I just can't imagine. I feel like that was like the time of these supposed $4 a word pieces, which I never got that, but I got 1 or 2 a word for certain assignments. Is that just gone now?
It is. I mean, I came up in Vanity Fair when it was $2 to $3 a word. Now this was for the web only.
Okay.
But it has changed. I knew people who had contracts at Vanity Fair, whether they were Dominic Dunn or Christopher Hitchens, that were worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it really wasn't a word count. But for these pieces now, it does seem like it's tailored towards those who need clips rather than money. And, for most people, $860 wouldn't be that much. But if they had a New Yorker byline, it would mean more. So,
right.
But to me, at my age, with a daughter, and I do think there needs to be some sort of balance between recognition as well as getting what one deserves for working months on a piece.
I mean, I think the idea in my hypothetical was, well, if you choose the option of like acclaim and attention, then maybe that would elevate you to the next thing, then that's your payday or something. But I get what you're saying, Mike, of like you've been, that's good at an earlier part of your career, but you've been doing, like, you're established already.
I think so. And that's how I grew up. Like, this will lead to that, which will lead to that. And I'll be called up from the minors into the majors. But I never found that to be the case, because even if you do have bylines and credits, it doesn't necessarily lead to more money. People will know your name, but it won't necessarily lead to you making a ton of money. It's a very murky situation. I haven't really figured it out how one gets recognition and money. But it's a hard thing to do. And if you can figure that out, if you can produce what you want to produce, how you want to do it, and make a good living, I think that's the dream.
Yeah. So how did you land this interview?
Well, I have 2 books of interviews with comedy writers, one called Poking a Dead Frog and one called And Here's the Kicker. So I had reached out to John Swartzwelder years ago, sent him a postcard to his P.O. box. He didn't have an email. And I asked him if he wanted to participate. This is about 12, 13 years ago. He's very nice. He wrote back and said, no, not at this time. So I just kept...
Did he write back like a letter?
He did. And eventually he did have an email, and I started emailing him. But, maybe once every few years. And this time he said yes. And I think it was for a few reasons. One is he's getting older and he wants to sort of cement his reputation in the industry. And another is he produces these self-published books that he wanted to sell more copies of. And actually the third reason is he grew up reading The New Yorker. So The New Yorker humorists meant a lot to him, S.J. Perlman and the rest. So he did say yes this time, but he said email only. which is fine with me, quite frankly, because I actually prefer email only rather than doing it by phone, or in person is actually my least favorite way to do it.
Interesting. When I'm reading a Q&A, it was Q&A, right?
It was a straight Q&A. It was almost like a Playboy interview from years past or a Paris Review type of interview.
When I'm reading a Q&A, I feel like I'm always like, was this email or was this in person? I feel like I can tell. But I don't think that I had that reaction when I read your piece. And I was about to say something and then I lost it. What was it? What was it? Oh no. Oh no.
You're gonna explode.
Oh no.
You gotta remember it.
Oh no. Oh, the pressure. Oh my
It's like Dark
God.
Side of the Moon.
This it really is. There was something it was about. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Initially, when you approached him via postcard, was it attached to the New Yorker, or was that something that had changed?
No, actually, that's right. I mean, the first time I did it, I said, this is for a book I'm putting together. At that time, it was for Writer's Digest. That was the first book. The second book was for a Random House. And he wasn't interested. And I do think, really, that the New Yorker name was what pushed him over the edge for this final. The last time I asked him, I do think most of it had to do less with me and more with the New Yorker name.
So were you like, hi, me again? I know you said no 6 times over the last 18 years, but I was just curious if you've changed your mind.
Well, I said, John, I now have an opportunity to do straight Q&As with New Yorker, and I can pick out anyone I want to interview. And it's basically just people whose work I like. Would you be into that? Would you be into that idea? And to my surprise, he said yes. So
that's so
it was
awesome.
after many
that's
years
so-
and asking him quite a few times.
I mean, it's just the take-home lesson we can all take home as a lesson, hence take-home lesson, is that we should probably all be more persistent with stuff. Because I'll get like a gentle no from a publicist, and I'm like, fine, so be it. Fuck you.
Well, you can't go through publicists, first of all. I know.
I
have in so many instances gone through publicists, gotten a no, and circumvented publicists, gone straight to the person that I want to interview, and they'll say yes. And that
In my
inevitably-
young and hungry days, I used to do shit like that. But now I'm like, I tweeted about wanting to have this person on my show, and I tagged them, and they didn't like it. So my job's done here. Like I've gotten kind of, I don't know if it's lazy or timid. I don't know what it is.
I think if
But I
you
need
do
to
it
be
nicely,
more like you.
it's
Yeah.
fine, right? There is a combination of trying to be not aggressive, but persistent without being an asshole. Really not, if you're not an
Right.
asshole, that to me is the key of life. Don't be an asshole. And that's what I would teach writing students above anything is don't be an asshole. Be a mensch.
Yeah.
Be a nice guy. Be a
Right.
nice woman. Just be nice. Be nice about
Yeah.
it.
You know what might help you with all of these things? Therapy.
What?
Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Whether you're struggling with anxiety or depression, need help with relationships, or are having difficulty meeting your goals, online therapy might be right for you. BetterHelp helps you assess your needs to match you with a professional licensed therapist. You can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. I know people who, in trying to find a traditional therapist right now are really having trouble finding someone, or there's like a humongous waiting list, a huge waiting period. BetterHelp in 48 hours. That is something to just tuck that away in case you might be interested in therapy. And I'm someone who I believe wholeheartedly in therapy. I think it can really be of benefit to anyone who's open to it. BetterHelp is also it can be more affordable than traditional therapy, and it's more convenient, and financial aid is available. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/bestfriend. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/bestfriend. best friend. And I also want to tell you guys about Monk Pack. They make these delicious snacks. Their healthy snacks have a bad reputation. And let's be honest, most don't taste very good. They don't fill you up, and they certainly don't satisfy your cravings. This episode is sponsored by Monk Pack, who makes snacks that taste like your favorite sugary treats, but with 1 gram of sugar or less. Monk Pack keto nut and seed bars contain 1 gram of sugar or less, 2 to 3 grams of net carbs, and they're only 150 calories. And with the last time I talked about Monk Pack, Daniel said that he was so surprised at how good they taste because oftentimes keto bars can be, in his words, gnarly. And for some reason, the way he said it, I couldn't stop laughing. We kept that in the spot, right, Tony?
Yeah.
I couldn't stop laughing, but it's so true. You guys, these are not gnarly. It's the only gnarly thing about these is how good they taste.
Dude,
but really,
they taste gnarly good. I've had them before, and they like remind me of those fun, like chewy granola that you would have as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
They rule.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I got some, and they're really, really good.
I've had the granola bars and I've had the keto nut and seed bars. And they're both really good. I really like the chocolate coconut. I also really like the white chocolate macadamia nut. And I think I had a blueberry one as well, but they're all really good. My mother-in-law was here and she took some back with her for her ride home. And she loved them as well. Try it for yourself and you'll see. And we have a special deal for our listeners. Get 20% off your first purchase of any Monk Pack product by visiting monkpack.com and entering our code BESTFRIEND at checkout. And Monk Pack is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll exchange the product or refund your money, whichever you prefer. To get started, just go to monkpack.com. That's Monkpack, MUNKPACK.com, and select any product and then enter the code BESTFRIEND at checkout to save 20% off your purchase. Monk Pack, delicious, nutritious food you can count on. We thank them for sponsoring the podcast. Okay, so Mike, you don't know about this. Betsy, you do know about this. Listeners, you know about this. I've got a little situation in my bathroom, which sounds fecal, but that's not what I'm talking about. There are millipedes in my bathroom, and I don't want them to be there. And the exterminator has now come out. They did like a perimeter spraying, which has done nothing. They sprinkled stuff in the crawl space, which I thought that had solved the problem. I had Bean from Kevin and Bean on the show. He's a vegan. But plenty of people I love are vegans. I said that as if that's like a dirty word. I just mean he was just like, why not? Look, he had millipedes as a pet when he was a kid. He's like, why not just carry them outside? Like, why must you massacre them? So
But
since
honey,
then,
don't.
I have lifted them up on a piece of toilet paper, carried them outside. And anyway, so it was raining this morning. And I waltzed into the bathroom, and usually I've only ever found one at a time. There were two.
Oh, no. It's going to keep adding up, dude.
Cruising around. Like, normally I feel like they are a little bit meek and bashful, as if to say, like, I'm lost. I'm sorry. This is your space. Also, I'm a little bit thirsty. Like, normally they have that kind of vibe, but these fuckers were brazen. Like, they were like, this is our bathroom now. You're intruding on our space. They were fat and happy and just going fast and moving around. So
they were mocking you. They were mating in front of you. Now, what you got to do at this point is shut the doors, shut the windows, get all of the supplies out of there, including your toothbrush, and put a bug bomb on there and just explode it. You know, it's like the nuclear option. It's like napalm in Vietnam. You set this thing off. Everything in there that is alive will die.
Whoa, hell yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Do it.
Intrigued.
What are you waiting for? You want them to mock you every morning as you go in there, to see them mating, to see them coupling?
There's going to be more. There's going to be so many more laughing at you.
I know, because they were, and it makes me feel sorry for them, but I feel like they were happy. Like they were happy to be there today. And if they're happy, then they're probably going to tell their friends, like, come on, the water's fine.
She's not going to smush us, so let's keep hanging out.
I'm telling you, my new fear. And now that I've had the fear, I'm going to like reverse law of attraction it into my life. I'm just going to I'm going to skid on one barefoot.
I'm telling you.
Thank you, Betsy.
Allison,
For that. Thank you.
word gets around among insects. It's like the GOP. If you're not forceful with them, they will come at you twice as hard the next time. They will not respect you. It's like a rabid dog.
No. Hey, no.
I know. I've done the like insect equivalent of negotiated with terrorists. Because I started off killing them and then I started carrying them outside. And what's my thanks? More.
You're weak.
More and happier.
You're weak. They know that.
Have you done a bug bomb? You seem to
I did.
You speak from experience.
Well, in New Orleans, I did. I mean, the bugs in New Orleans are, the size of rats. And we put off a bug bomb once in a room. And I'm telling you, it works. Now, the trick is to get everything out of their clothes, toothbrush, everything that you put on or in your body, you want out of there, because this thing is deadly. Deadly.
Whoa.
But it will take care of the situation. I think you have to stop messing around. I think this has gone on far too long. From what I've just heard, I think you need to take care of this and stomp it down like an adult would.
Or what if I just like cut their heads off and stick them on toothpicks and put them around the perimeter?
Like putting them on like pikes. Yeah, I would do that, but I would just kill them all.
Just stop there. You would do that.
I would do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a real mind fuck because really, what's the problem? But also, I can't stand it.
Where do you live?
Burbank.
Exact address.
I live in Burbank, and get this, Mike. When I called the pest control place, and yes, listeners, I am repeating myself, but it bears repeating. When I called the pest control place and I told them I had millipedes and a couple slugs in my bathroom, she was like, "Oh, that's a new one." So it's unusual.
So even she's mocking you now. So maybe she needs a bug bomb. Maybe she needs to be taken care of. Who is this woman? She's never heard of a slug in a bathroom.
I think her name was Paula.
What didn't she hear? What was new for her in this situation? The millipedes or the slugs?
I think both in a bathroom.
That doesn't sound too outrageous to me. Are you sure?
Yeah, but you've lived in buggy cities.
It's Burbank.
I don't know. I guess it's just not what they expect in Burbank. I mean, I follow Jamie Lynn Sigler, who was a Monday Show guest, and she has millipedes in her shower in Austin, Texas.
Well, Austin.
What are they up to?
Austin, I can understand. Anyway. Austin is a nightmare when it comes to bugs.
Well, there's a lot. Yeah. So these are bugs that are related to moisture. Not related to moisture, but, usually come out with hence they're being so fat and happy with the rain. And they thought maybe we had a leak or something, but we don't. And I'm happy we don't, because now we don't have to fix it, but I'm unhappy because I thought if it was that, we could just fix it and then, not have to have these bugs anymore.
Now, how old's your son?
How old?
How old
I have a
is
2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Okay, so I have a 12-year-old daughter, and if she saw a millipede, she'd be out the door. It would be game over. She would be gone for good.
He is afraid of bugs. I don't know where he gets it. But he doesn't seem to have an awareness of the millipedes, thankfully.
He thinks they're almost cute, pet-like.
No, I mean, he hasn't, like, I'll go into the bathroom. Okay, so we talked a little bit about OCD. I'll go into the bathroom and then I'll have to like come back, 12 minutes later to just take another look, and then I have to come back. Most of my day has been policing the bathroom. My husband suggested maybe I should just stay in there all day to make sure, and I was like, if you want to watch the kids, I will do that. But
what did your mother-in-law think of these bugs?
She wasn't here when we had this. She just hasn't seen them.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. But he doesn't seem to know why. He hasn't seen them yet. They're just confined to one bathroom. He hasn't come across them yet. I think if he did, I don't know what he would think.
It sounds like there's a portal to another dimension.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
I live on some kind of hellmouth.
Yep, something is going on where it's like Narnia, where they go through some sort of closet and they're coming in from another reality, another.
Imagine.
It is.
Yeah. I just.
Oh my, how
How
I
to
mean,
find that hole, dude?
there's probably a tiny closet and a tiny hole. What a bummer, though, that it's just something that millipedes can pass
I
through.
know, ain't that the worst? I mean, you would want
That's
little
the rub.
elves or sort of magical creatures, but slugs are coming through.
Right,
Ew.
man. I feel robbed.
Wait, what did the pest person say who came to inspect?
They said that they don't see anything unusual. But apparently, it's not a surprise that bugs are coming in and we have no idea where they're coming in because they can typically get through just tiny little spots. It's that's pretty standard.
Of course, yeah.
So
Ooh.
they don't know. It's very weird.
Now, you don't have pets, you don't have cats or dogs that can take care of these.
We have a dog, but she hasn't shown, just like my son, she hasn't shown interest.
What?
What if I'm imagining the whole thing?
I was going to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
what's all in
happened-
your mind, dude?
Maybe you're on codeine like I was. Maybe you're starting to hallucinate.
I'm crazy. Yeah. Oh, and also, I mentioned that Peanut Butter was going to make another quick appearance. So, aforementioned Wendy, my sweet dog, who is of no use when it comes to millipedes, she has just started heart medication. And the way I've been getting her to take the pills, I don't put it at the bottom of Coke with peanuts. I put a blob of peanut butter on a spoon, and then I break the pill up and put it in there and give it to her. So gave that to her last night. And then I was eating something later, and I licked the spoon. And I was like, uh-oh, I'm tasting peanut butter. Oh, no, I forgot to put the spoon in the sink. I somehow got confused. And so then, ever since then, I've been like, what's this? First of all, this is crazy of me, though, because I think, she took the whole pill. There's probably not her heart drugs on the spoon, but I also am worried about some sudden feeling in my chest. I don't know what it would be.
It's going to turn your heart into a dog heart.
That's right. I mean, I have been trying to sniff at my own genitals, but other than that,
But wouldn't
things
you
are
do
normal.
that anyway?
Okay. But I do that anyway. Yeah. Okay, so something exciting is happening right now, and it is I have put together a news quiz, sort of in the style of a little bit in the style of wait, but not really. It's my own style. I've invented a news quiz. It's 5 questions. I don't know if it's going to be hard or easy. We'll find out.
Okay.
And I also haven't decided how the points are going to be given out, but I know that I will be doing the giving out. So, Tony, play my news song.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was getting ready with the sound effects. Forgot we had a news song.
Actually, we have 2 news songs. Do you have both of them at the ready? Because I say we just figure out which one we like better.
Can one be "This Is How We Do It" by Montel?
Okay, so you want them both?
Yeah. Not at the same time. With Alison. Is that my voice in there? With Alison.
Wow, that's good.
I feel like that. I think that
That's
there
The
is
very
my.
end, like the N. I feel like
Yeah.
it did sound like you.
Wow. Okay, now let's hear the other one.
Latin. Ooh, shit. Oh, dirty.
It's the news with Alison. Alison Rosen is your best friend. Breaking
Ooh, that one's slinky. I like that one.
Slinky. Let's go with the Slinky one. The Slinky one is the one we usually go with. All right, so that's the song. Okay, let's hear it again, Tony, to really inaugurate this segment.
1, 2, 3, kick it down now.
It's the news with Alison. Alison Rosen is your best friend. Breaking news.
Okay, writing this down to keep score. And it's about to get very exciting. Okay, guys, number 1.
Ooh.
There was a story this week in Sports Illustrated, and it quoted someone who said This should be the biggest scandal in sports. And that quote was also used as a headline. What was the scandal? And also, what was the sport?
I know this one.
Whoa.
You do? Okay.
John McEnroe.
Let's let you go.
It was tennis. John McEnroe was caught masturbating in the religion aisle of a Barnes & Noble in Rockville, Maryland.
Okay. We have Mike's answer.
Holy shit.
Be more specific, please.
I will accept okay, Tony, what do you think?
I think that it's John McEnroe was using steroids while masturbating in a Borders. Somehow he found a Borders that was still open.
That's
Oh
the
my
most
God.
scandalous part.
That's
Where's
the most
that
amazing
Borders,
part
dude?
right there.
Wow. Wow.
Should be a huge story, but it's
I
not.
had a fucking Borders reward card, man.
Yeah, I had a
Cash
Borders
it in.
coffee punch card.
I'm so bummed.
I used to get coffee at Borders on my way to the OC Weekly, where I worked at the time, and they would have pumpkin flavored coffee. This was before pumpkin spice latte, and I was like, "This is awful. I wish you had regular coffee."
They
Well, they
only
probably-
had pumpkin?
I realized that's how it sounded. I think what I mean to say is, "This is awful. I wish you had a different flavor because I like flavored coffees, but I don't like pumpkin."
But you don't like pumpkin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But now I actually
Okay.
like it. I've come around. But it wasn't pumpkin spice. It was just like straight up fresh pumpkin flavor,
Ooh.
which wasn't very good. Betsy, what do you think? Biggest scandal in sports.
Biggest scandal in sports ever. Okay, I think it's basketball, and I think it's revealed that Michael Jordan was not, in fact, Michael Jordan.
Oh my God. A case of mistaken identity?
Who was he, Betsy?
Yeah. Michael Jordan never existed, man.
Oh my God. Who was he though? Was he someone else doing playing two parts in one game?
He was, you know who he was?
Who?
He was a hoax, like the landing on the moon.
Whoa, he never existed.
Yes.
He never existed,
Holy
but we all think
crap.
he did, man.
We imagine
Right. They're
him.
gonna do
Matrix, baby.
like a wag the dog type thing, but it's gonna be called bounce the ball.
That's
Right,
spooky
there
shit,
it
Betsy.
is. That's it. Hey, man.
Okay, so
Biggest
you
scandal.
all get 2 points for creativity, but I'm sorry, all of you are wrong. I am
Oh.
now going to tell you look, we're feeling it out as we go to see how hard these are. I'm now going to tell you the sport and then see if you can guess it.
Okay.
The sport is baseball.
Oh, did it have something? I feel like I maybe, although maybe this wouldn't have been a huge story, but did it involve a cheating pitcher? Like they think he had something in his mitt or something to cheat?
I'm a
somehow?
huge
You have,
baseball fan, and I
Go
don't
ahead.
know the answer to this.
oh my gosh. Well, Tony, you have earned yourself another half a point.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's that pitchers are putting sticky stuff on the ball, and it's estimated that 80 to 90% of pitchers are doing this. And there's all sorts of stuff. Like they'll put, I think like an old-fashioned thing they would do is like put hair gel and then like rub their hand in their hair beforehand. But they'll mix sunscreen and resin. Or is it pronounced R-O-S-I-N?
Resin.
Resin or
It's
rosin?
resin.
Resin.
Yeah,
But is there also an R-E-S-I-N?
I don't know, but I do know that this has been going on for 100 years or more. They would a lot of pitchers would put Vaseline on the brim of their cap, and then they would
Yeah.
shake the sweat off their head supposedly, and then they would have Vaseline on their hands, and it becomes a ball that is very difficult to hit.
Right. Well, so now the point is to get really sticky stuff on the ball. Because I guess it helps. First of all, it does make it harder to hit, and like the pitching. Well, this is where my lack of knowledge of sports is really showing itself. The pitching number is going down.
What does this have
However many.
to do with John McEnroe masturbating? I don't understand.
So they're using his semen, mixing it with sunscreen.
I
just lobbed you a
mixing it
softball.
with resin. Yeah,
You got the stickiest
And I-
semen in town.
Yeah, and so I guess the article said that the sound of the ball leaving the pitcher's hand sounds like ripping off a Band-Aid. So it's like because it's basically like glued to their hand, their pitches are their throws are like more accurate. Anyway, it's just totally fucking everything up. It should be the biggest story in sports. Major League Baseball is not really cracking down on it, and it's like especially bad concerning the Dodgers. This is a little local angle. Okay,
Oh, no.
so right now, Tony with 2.5, Betsy and Mike with 2.
Ooh, I got 2.
Yeah, everyone got 2 for
I'm
their
happy I got 2.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
number 2.
Okay.
A 20-year-old woman suffered a heart attack after trying a TikTok trend called dry scooping.
Oh no.
What is dry scooping?
a heart attack?
Yeah.
Dry scooping?
She did this before her workout.
Oh no.
Before her workout,
Dry scooping.
she dry scooped.
Yeah.
Something like is something with like a muscle powder or something like. What's a dry scoop?
It's like a dry heave. What is a dry scoop? I don't like the sounds of that.
I think she tried to use an ice cream scooper on astronaut ice cream.
Oh, that would be a dry scoop.
Too
That's a dry
dry,
scoop in
dude,
town.
and that just made her heart explode.
Her dog
she
heart.
couldn't deal with it.
Okay,
Her
good.
dog heart, yeah.
Okay, good guess, Tony.
Dry scoop.
Mike, what do you
Well,
think?
I remember being at camp, and we would dry. We would just rub against each other, the girls and the boys. What is that called? Dry
Humping?
humping. Yeah. So this is a more adult version of dry humping. When you don't have a partner during COVID, what you would do is you would take something that vibrates. It doesn't matter whether it's a back massager or a food processor. And you put a towel around it. You put it against your tummy. You lie down on the couch. You put on your favorite show, and you start dry scooping. And I have done this one time back in New Orleans, and I ended up in the hospital with a concussion. Yeah.
Whoa. May I ask what TV show you put on?
I was
while you
same
were doing
question,
it?
yeah.
Well, it was a match game, but I don't remember anything from that day because of the concussion.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. Betsy.
Dry scoop, dude. I feel it has something to do with like some weird like creatine fucking powder stuff. Like I think she like took a big scoop out of all these different powders that are supposed to help you and then worked out and her heart exploded from it.
All right. Betsy, you are the closest because it does. So dry scooping is taking a scoop of caffeine and creatine rich workout powder that is usually mixed with water and just ingesting it straight.
What did I miss?
So-
My headphone conked out. I was so excited telling that story.
Did you have to go dry scoop it?
I'm dry scooping right now with my third hand.
So dry scooping is taking like caffeine and creatine rich workout drink powder that's normally mixed with water that people drink before they work out and just ingesting it without the water.
That's like doing the cinnamon test.
Yes. That is, yes, every article about it said it is similar to that. So I'm a little unclear, and the article didn't really make this clear, like why she had a heart attack, and had she mixed it with water, would she have not had the heart attack? I don't know. My personal, as someone who is not a medical professional, but feels like I should be one, my dad's a doctor, so I feel like, I'm probably halfway there already. I suspect these are two separate things. She dry scooped and she also had a heart attack, but in that they're not necessarily related. However, she's using her position to let everyone know how dangerous dry scooping is. And apparently it is really dangerous. because you can choke, and also you can get dehydrated, and it's also just gross. So, Betsy, you get 4 points.
Wow.
And
Ooh,
Tony and Mike
nice.
get 2 points.
Even if my headphones fell off, do I get a half a point for that?
You get a half
There
point
you
for
go.
that.
Nice.
A dry
nice,
half
Okay.
point.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
We've all learned to please make sure your scoops are nice and moist.
Keep your
Gotta
scoops
have
moist. Yeah,
Some
you don't want
moist
You don't
scoops.
want-
dry. A case of dry scoop. Okay. Number 3. As the country reopens, businesses are having trouble staffing up. You may have heard stories about this, that it's people are having trouble getting their employees to come back to work. People are used to the remote, and everyone's sort of taking inventory of their life and thinking, I don't want to do that for $860. Okay. Because of this, companies like Amazon and other retailers are offering what unexpected perk to new employees? So in order to get them to agree to work, these are to new employees, companies are offering something that you probably wouldn't expect them to be offering.
I know the answer to this one.
You do? Okay,
you
go
are
loud.
allowed to
Oh.
fly into space with Jeff Bezos.
Okay.
Oh, cool, man.
By the way, I keep falling. I keep walking right into this when you're like, I know the answer. I'm like, okay, go last then.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Yeah. Okay. So
Whoa.
Mike Sachs thinks it's flying into space with Jeff Bezos.
Okay.
I think it's every day each employee gets a free dry scoop.
Free dry scoops, but free.
Yeah,
Like they keep them in the
Free.
break room.
You might have a heart attack, but hey, man, they're free.
Yeah.
exactly. You can't turn
Okay,
down
then.
free.
Especially an
No.
office dry scoop. That's the best, the office dry scoop.
Yes. Yes. When you get that
Yes.
email
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like, psst, dry scoops in the break room.
Okay, what are they getting? What are they getting? What are they getting? I'm gonna just say respect for respect.
That is unexpected. Okay.
And totally worthless. No one wants respect anymore. They want money.
Well, that's what they're getting. They're getting signing bonuses.
Or I guess Noah was right.
Right. So you all get 2 points. I kind of I'm going to give Betsy 3 points though, because it's the closest to respect.
It's a little respect. It's
Yeah.
a little respect.
So, between signing bonuses of between, and I expected it to be something like very paltry, but between $500 and $3,000, just to agree to their like not very well paying jobs.
It's like getting vaccines for people. They're giving them money. They're giving them this. They're giving them that.
Yes.
Isn't that pathetic? Don't you think that's pathetic? I mean, people around the world would kill for a vaccine. We have to give them, bag of yodels.
It really, I saw a tweet that said something like this, but I had the thought before I saw the tweet, which is it really brings me back to like being a really good student and then watching all the extra attention the bad students would get and everyone being like, oh my God, you did it. Like you turned in your homework. And I'm like, I don't know. Which I get, but still.
Yeah, we're all doing the right
You
thing.
know.
What are these huckleberries doing?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's been this whole. For
Yes.
years, but like this whole year was very, very much that. Like, well, I'm doing everything all right,
Yeah.
but my neighbors are having a party. Like,
Oh my
come
God.
on.
Yes. Yeah, I was surprised actually to watch who in the neighborhood was just hanging out without masks. It was
Even in Burbank, I'd be surprised about that because when I went down to Florida, no one was wearing masks. But in Burbank, I would think
Right.
people would be wearing masks, even especially towards the height of the problem.
Yeah. Well, this was early on, but there was a neighbor across the street, their son was graduating, so they were going to have him walk out in his cap and gown, and we were all going to go outside with pots and pans. That's what, like, make noise. So we went outside and stood in our driveway with our pots and pans. We were the only people with pots and pans. Everyone else just came out outside and then went over to their house, and they were like passing around punch, and it was all outside, but there weren't any masks. And we felt like, even though we felt like righteous and also healthy, I mean, like, we were doing what was safe because we were too scared to go over there, but we felt like we were definitely sticking out like a sore thumb because we would not leave our driveway. We're like, congratulations! And then we went back inside.
That's good. That's great.
That's the way it should be.
I do like all these people, and I don't see them not. What am I trying to say? It's not like I live around a bunch of people who don't believe in science.
Right.
Just on that day, I was surprised. Okay, number 4. Kate Winslet didn't.
Oh no.
Here it goes. Kate Winslet.
Uh-oh.
I didn't watch Mayor of Easttown. Did you?
I tried last night. I couldn't get into it.
So
Yeah.
I've heard the first episode is hard. Like, it's hard. You got to get past the first episode, and then suddenly you're sucked in. Is that right, Betsy?
Yeah, I enjoyed it all. Like, even the first episode, I was like, whoa, what's going to happen, man? And then I loved it.
Tony, have you seen
really
it?
Cool.
No, I literally know nothing about it other than people seem to love it.
Yeah.
People are talking about that Philadelphia accent, and that is a hard accent to try to emulate.
It's strange. One of my really good friends is from there and like can do it, and I don't know. They you swallow. Like at some points they sounded a little like Dr. Evil, which was kind of funny. Like right, like that kind of vibe. But it's a good show. I really enjoyed it.
I can't wait to watch it, and I also can't wait to read the question. But first, I have to talk to you guys about Rothy's. It's 2021, and nobody has time for uncomfortable shoes. That's where Rothy's comes in. Rothy's surveyed thousands of customers, and the number one word used to describe their shoes is comfy. These are shoes you can wear right out of the box, and you won't get blisters. I've talked about them a lot. When I first got them and I found out they were made from recycled water bottles, I thought, well, I don't want crunchy shoes. And then I pulled them out of the box. They're super soft. Kathleen, our dog walker, I saw her wearing them one day. I said, are those Rothy's? She said, yes. Only shoes I can dog walk in. I don't get blisters. Jackie Johnson, friend of the show, where I think she claimed she was going to get married in her Rothy's. I don't think she actually did, but wears them all the time. So fashionable, so comfortable. They're very collectible. You're going to want to collect them. They sell out of their different designs fast. So if you go to the website, grab something that you like right away, or else Jackie Johnson and Meghan Markle are going to get them right out from under you. Upgrade your closet with washable, sustainable, stylish shoes and bags from Rothy's. Plus, they just launched men's shoes.
That's what John McEnroe was wearing. That was the only thing he was wearing.
So make sure to check them out for you or the guy in your life. Head to rothys.com/Alison to find your new favorites today. That's Rothys, ROTHYS.com/Alison. Okay. Kate Winslet didn't want something removed from a mayor. I feel like whoever wrote this question, and it was me, wrote it in sort of a confusing way. I'm going to have to fire her. Kate Winslet, there was something she didn't want removed from a certain scene. She told the New York Times that the show's director said he would remove what during a sex scene? To which she replied, "Don't you dare!" So he said, "I'm going to take something out of this sex scene."
Yeah,
And she said, "Don't you dare! Don't you dare!" That's my.
That was a spot on, Kate Winslet.
Thank you. Didn't it seem like she was? If you close your eyes, don't you dare!
Whoa, Titanic!
Don't you dare!
Whoa, what else is she in? Mayor of Easttown.
Paint me like one of your French girls. Don't you dare!
Don't you dare.
Yeah, we brought her in just for that. Anyway,
Wow, that
what was
huge.
it that you don't think she wanted removed? Man, there's a lot of negatives in there.
Well,
what did she want
I
to
know
keep
this
in the
one.
scene?
I know this one.
Okay.
It was a steak and cheese hoagie.
Oh, you can do the accent really well, too.
I can do the Baltimore accent. You go down to 105th Street and get the hoagie. Yeah, Ocean City.
Hoagie. Yeah, that's
Yeah, you get the
like
rum and
pretty,
Coke, and you go down to 105 in Ocean City. Jolly Rogers.
That's really good.
That's like good.
I'm from that area,
Rum and
so I can do.
Coke.
I mean, Baltimore and Philadelphia are very similar accents, but it's that hard.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a hoagie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd jump his
Hoagie.
bones.
I mean, that seems pretty. A hoagie is a pretty
But
good.
a real sloppy hoagie, real messy steak.
Ooh,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Messy
very
hoagie.
Betsy knows what I
sloppy.
mean.
Yeah.
Dude, I only like the sloppiest hoagies,
Oh,
man.
All right. So we
Um,
got Mike says sloppy hoagie.
I'm gonna say an intense scar she has on her back from a fight she got in.
Ooh, a back
a
scar
Philly-
from
a Philly fight.
A
Yeah.
Philly
She was
fight.
scrapping. Okay, Tony, what do you
Yeah,
think?
She doesn't want this removed from a sex scene.
Correct. She wants it
what this
left in.
was. She wants it left.
That's a good
in.
question. I like this.
Thank you.
Boy, I mean, it seems like there's maybe some obvious answers, and I'm not coming up with anything creative here.
I think you should give
so-
yourself the clock.
Uh-oh, you're gonna blow up.
Well, I'll go with a word that rhymes with clock. Then she didn't want that cock removed.
Ooh. You are
All
keeping
right.
the cock in the shot, or I'm walking. All right, Kate, shit, man.
I feel once again. Okay, so the answer is her bulgy belly, her slightly bulgy belly, a little bit of belly bulge. No, I'm sorry, that's correct. And the director was like, "Don't worry, I'll take your belly out." And she said, "Don't you dare." Because she also had like rejected some photoshopped promotional posters and stuff because she feels that people are connecting with Mare of Easttown because she's a real lady who moves and looks like a 45-year-old woman
She's
would
got a
or whatever.
big old sloppy hoagie going on down there.
Yeah.
Big
So,
old sloppy
Mike, you get
hoagie.
2 points. Tony, you get 2. Betsy, again, I'm going to give you 3 because you said
Betsy's the
something
best.
body
Yeah.
related. I feel like I'm going to be accused of favoritism.
I love the news. I love the news.
Hey, I said something body related.
He said
No, I'm
cock,
sorry,
for
you didn't.
God's sakes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't her body. Unless you
well,
meant her.
I mean, we don't know.
Tony,
yeah,
you
you have not seen the show, so.
Tony, you get
Yeah.
0.5. Mike, you get 0.5 because hoagie's fun. Okay, I got to do a little bit of quick math so we know going into the last question what we're up against. Okay. Okay, here we go. Tony, you have actually starting at the bottom. Mike, you have 8.5. Tony, you have 9.5. And Betsy, you have 12.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's anyone's game, though,
No,
because
it's not. I have 8.
yeah, but maybe this is all or nothing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to consult the judges.
I mean,
here we
I
go.
truly don't know.
Number 5, and the final question. Is it winner takes all? I haven't decided. Okay. A postmortem of the 2020 election showed that this word damaged the Democratic Party more than others. I could go into detail, but I'm not going to.
I think I have to go with cock again.
A solid guess.
Yeah, those cock bumper stickers.
So yeah, this word
Cock 2020.
this word turned people away from the Democratic Party.
I'd have to go. Can I hyphenate it so it's 2 words that become 1 word?
Yes, please.
Moist hoagie.
Wow, this question has a lot of similarities to number 4. I didn't guess. I didn't think
It's
it would.
not sloppy. It's just moist.
Oh,
It's
okay.
moist. Ooh.
But moist was
Ooh.
that's still a callback to dry scoops. So
Yeah, it's all a callback. Everything's a callback.
Yeah, it's a
Everything's callback.
giant, beautiful
Everything is
crescendo.
callback. Speaking of callbacks, I'll say semen.
Oh, yes, John McEnroe's semen. I'm sorry.
Republican semen.
no.
The GOP semen.
No one gets any points. You're all wrong. That word is socialism. And
Gosh.
socialism, the word, was especially damaging in states and districts with immigrant populations that fled socialist governments like Venezuelan, Cuban, Vietnamese, Filipino, etc. So Republicans evidently were really able to seize upon this word socialism and frighten people away. And also, democratic socialism is not the same as socialism. A distinction which is glossed over by dickheads. Anyway, you guys, so congratulations, Betsy, you won.
Yes. Thank you.
With 12 points.
Thank
Solid
you.
effort, Tony and
What
Mike.
was my final tally?
Final tally was 8.5.
Oh,
Hey, that's more than 1 point for
was
each
I
question.
last? Did Tony get more than 8.5?
Tony got 9.5.
Good God Almighty! I've never won anything. Nothing.
Nothing?
That's
Nothing.
a shame because she has quite a prize up her sleeve.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just wait till you see that I'm going to give you
It's
this
okay.
pen. This pen.
It's okay.
It's a good pen.
That
Remember
is
all
a
those
good
episodes of The Price is Right when Bob Barker would go, and you're gonna win? Let me see. And he would look around to see what was near him.
Let's see the pen.
pen. I don't remember him doing that. I love that.
It
Good for
is a
him.
Uniball
Whoa, Uniball.
Vision Elite. I'm going to do a little doodling with it.
Yeah, give us a. Ooh, smooth.
Yeah, I mean, it's so smooth. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, Betsy.
It's not a gel pen. So it's not a gel pen, so I wouldn't recommend signing
Wow.
special documents with it. But for just doodling, I'm swirl. Look, I could do a circle. I
That's
can do
good. And
hatch
it hasn't run
marks.
out of ink yet.
It's blue black ink. It has ink. I can.
One
Can
of
I
the best qualities in a pen.
will it right upside down? Yes. It's not one of those.
It will.
Betsy,
ballpoint.
you did well,
Yeah.
girl. You did well.
Yeah. And it's got
huge.
bite marks on it from Wendy, but they're not from me. They're from Wendy.
Oh, that's fine. Wendy bite marks. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
in.
I can't wait to bestow this pen upon you.
Wendy is your babysitter? Who's Wendy?
She is she's my dog
Oh, so
who takes heart medication.
and she bites pens.
yes.
Is she in the area? Can I see Betsy? I love dogs.
Well, Betsy is in the area. Wendy is in the house, and I'm outside in the studio, which is a separate structure.
Wendy.
But
I
I
said
could.
Betsy.
I'll send you I'll send you a photo of her.
Sorry, Betsy.
Hey, I don't. Hey,
It don't
man.
matter.
It's
All right,
Good.
you
It's
guys.
all good.
Tony, get ready with your dun dun dun. I have received a notice from our refrigerator, from our smart refrigerator, saying that the freezer door is open. Do I stop the show, stop this precious, beautiful, delicious, if you will, momentum to text my husband and tell him the refrigerator has texted me? Or do we just keep
Whoa.
rolling, thus putting items at peril?
Is it freezer
In
or
peril.
fridge?
The freezer.
I'd text him immediately.
I would
Okay.
text
You
for
don't
sure.
fuck
You gotta
around.
text.
This is big time. This is what
Maybe I'll call him.
what do you have? Do you have blood or body parts or human samples?
We don't even
Yeah, what's in
we
the
don't even have
freezer?
teeth in our freezer. It's just food.
It's just food then?
Yeah.
Ah.
Just food.
That's no big
Yeah, forget
Leave it
I thought you were talking
open,
about
man.
body tissue or
Leave it open and turn on the heat.
Okay. He does. I don't think he wants to be part of the show, but I
Where
think he'll
is he right
appreciate
now?
that he's in the house.
Hey,
Hi. So you're on the show right now. I know that you don't want to have to juggle watching the kids and being on the show, but I got a text from our refrigerator letting me know the freezer door is open, and everyone agreed we had to tell you.
oh, all right. Thank you. Say hi to everybody for me.
I will. How's it going in there?
It's going well. Owen just woke up and we had dinner.
Okay, great. All right. Well,
Okay.
close the freezer.
All right. And the freezer says hi.
Okay, love you.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
What a
He
nice
sounds
freezer.
sweet, your husband.
He's
That was
great.
real nice.
Although I will say I do love him, but the only reason I said I love you right now was because I imagined if I didn't, then people were going to be like, do they hate each other? It seems like such a cold exchange.
So you have to say,
that
I love you after every, even about the freezer, you have to say, I love you.
No, we don't. But honestly,
It sounded
that I
fake.
love you was
It
really,
sounded a little
it was
fake.
really for show.
Yeah.
It was
I
100%
could
for
tell.
show.
I got chills at first, and I thought, that doesn't sound real. That's not
Yeah. Like two sociopaths talking.
like I love you.
So how is everyone doing? Are you back to like real life? Are you hanging out with human beings and stuff a lot?
I attended a bar mitzvah, which was the first time I've been with other humans in about 18 months. And
How was it?
fantastic. We all got ripped, and a few of us got sick. But it was one of those things where it was just so great. You know, things that would have annoyed me in the past, like just sitting through a bar mitzvah, was just delightful. Everything about it was great.
Was it outside?
It was inside.
Oh,
The
wow.
ceremony was inside, and then the reception was inside. And it was just so, you just took I just loved it. You know, just even people making small talk was fun again.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Was there any sort of like proof of vaccination? Or
No, none
were
of
you-
that
were
crap.
people even
No,
asked?
because, I mean, people here just assume that all adults and now all kids over the age of 12 have been vaccinated. I mean, if not, then that's on them. You know, if you
Right.
didn't get at this point and you're going to get sick, that's on you.
yeah.
Right.
We
Right.
went to a car dealership. It's a long, boring story why we were there. So I will spare everyone. But we were inside and people were pretty spread out. But Elliot and Owen were with me. And there were some people not wearing masks. And I found myself, I didn't think this would happen, but I suddenly started to get really anxious and I made us all wait outside. Just because I don't know. Even though they say that like if kids, first of all, kids, I think they get it less. And if they get it, it's really, you know, usually they're fine. But I don't know. It was less of a thought than just a feeling of like, oh, I think we should just be outside.
Yeah, I think that's game on. You like, yeah, don't worry about
Right.
that. If you're like, this makes me feel better, then that's
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, do what
all
you're
that
comfortable
And you'll
with.
get
matters.
sick less
Yeah.
often. I mean, you see how few people got the flu this year, and colds and everything else, stomach viruses,
right.
because they're wearing masks. And I think that's going to
Right.
continue. I think at least in New York, on subways and in crowded areas, people
Yep.
will be wearing masks from now on.
Betsy, what about you? Are you out and about?
Yeah, I've seen 2 movies
Oh,
in
wow.
the theater. Kept my mask on, even though AMC was like, you could take it off if you're vaccinated, but still, I'm very much like, hey, I'm gonna wear it a bunch
Mm-hmm.
because it helps you not get sick. But yeah, I saw Quiet Place 2 and Conjuring 3, both in the theaters, and it's so fun.
How was Quiet Place 2? Was that good?
It was pretty fun. It was, of course, not as good as the first, but I had a blast.
The
whole
first one was
time,
great. I
so
love the first one.
It was so good. It blew
Yeah.
my mind.
Like, how
Yeah.
scary are we talking?
The first one?
The first one,
Yeah.
it scared me in
Okay.
a great way. Like, I like getting scared.
Like in a jump scare, ooh, it's an attraction way, or in a I'm not going to be able to sleep for 6 months because it's unnerving, unsettling, and disturbing kind of way.
Kind of both for me. Like, there's
out.
one scene that I remember that I'll always remember that was just like, oh my God, this is so scary. And then putting yourself in it, being like, it's the whole world, the world of the movie is so scary. Having to be quiet is so scary.
Yes, especially with kids, and because she has kids, right?
She has a baby.
Ugh, that is.
Well,
I mean,
and
this
one
is
of-
like the
I was
MASH
just going to
series
say
finale.
the chicken finale.
I saw that when I was a little kid, and that's not something to watch as a
Have
little
you seen
kid.
that recently? You just laugh all the way through it.
Really?
Yeah, watch it again. It's goofy.
Maybe I will. It was not good. It was just too much when I was little. All right, so Quiet Place 2 and Quiet Place 1 are things I will not be seeing, but everyone seems very intrigued to see Quiet Place 2.
It's fun.
I never saw the first one either. I want to. It's been in my list for a while, but haven't seen it.
Tony, watch it.
All right, I'll do it.
Stop
I'll
what
do
you're
it.
doing right now and watch it tonight.
I mean, maybe wait 10 minutes, but...
Okay.
No. Put it on.
I went to a whole big thing this weekend.
Yes, I saw you
was-
posted something. Tell us.
Yeah, I drove down to near San Diego, and my friend and former guest of the show, Sarah Watkins. It's actually her and her brother Sean, both incredible musicians. They grew up near San Diego. Their parents still live there and have this amazing house with a lot of property. And it's kind of a thing they have been doing for a while. It's usually an annual thing, but obviously last year it didn't happen. And actually, I think the year before that too, because they kind of newly had a kid. But they invite a bunch of friends down there, and their parents have a huge yard, and everybody brings tents and camps in the yard. And
wow.
During the daytime and early evening, everybody just kind of hangs out, does whatever, and then in the early evening, Sarah and her brother Sean, and then a few other musicians all put on like a short show for a while, played, and it was incredible. It was really fun. I got to see a lot of people I hadn't seen in well over a year.
Yeah.
Got to see live music by amazing musicians. It was really fun. So for the show, they even in their invites they said, "Make sure to bring a chair for the show." So I was worried I was going to forget that. So when I was packing up my car, I was like, "Got to get the chair," and I remembered, so I just did it immediately. And get down there, and she was getting close to. I already had everything else. I had my tent set up, everything, and then they were about to start the show. I was like, "I could grab my chair, get it set up." They had started playing already by the time I got back over to my chair, and went and I sat in the chair, and it immediately broke.
Oh no.
And it was super loud, and they're like playing this like acoustic show, so it's like it's not loud there. So that was a nice start. Yeah.
Is that a referendum on your pandemic habits?
It might be.
I don't think it is. Yeah, it never feels good to break a
Well,
chair.
here's my anxiety kicking in. Where did you go to the bathroom? See, I would be worried about that the entire time.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, you and me both.
They
Bessie.
actually rent a like a porta potty situation, but it's like it's like a nice one though.
I've never seen a nice one. I don't think it exists.
Like
Like a
it's more like
trailery one?
Like a honey- like a-
almost more like an airplane bathroom kind of. Not that those are nice, but nicer than a porta potty.
Is it like a film set bathroom or like
Kind of.
So you
Nicer.
brushed your teeth there, you shaved, you did everything you needed to do in that little bathroom?
Yeah, it had a
Really?
sink and everything too. Yeah.
That would have made me very nervous.
I have actually been thinking lately, and this is the kind of thought that indicates I'm like, okay, I'm not in my right mind because this is so out of character for me. But I've been thinking it might be fun to go camping with my
don't do
family.
it. Mm-mm.
And that is, some people, for some
They love it.
people, that's a normal thought. Like
Yes.
Renee Colvert comes on the show a lot. She loves to camp. She takes her dog. She has a whole thing. It's very up her alley. She's discovered her passion for camping. Sometimes I don't like the first hotel room I'm
Exactly.
offered, and I'll just like, I got to get I need the best
Right.
hotel room, etc. So the fact that I'm considering camping, I don't know if it's that I've been cooped up for too long. I don't know. It's
That's
weird.
a better in theory activity. Camping, right?
Yeah.
You'll be out there
Right,
and you'll just think,
yes.
I just want to be home on my couch. I mean, what am I doing out here
Yeah.
at the
I don't like to be uncomfortable, so I
Me
don't know
too. I
why
hate
I'm
being
thinking.
uncomfortable. And if you don't like being uncomfortable,
I hate
camping
it
is
so
not gonna be
much.
for you.
Just something about sleeping in sleeping bags with my kids. I think they would get such a kick out of it. But
yeah, I'd never had even camped until like maybe 5 years ago, and I've still maybe this was like my third or fourth time ever now.
do you enjoy it?
I like it fine. Like I don't think it would ever be my idea, but if someone's like, "Hey, do you want to come do this?" I would probably do it. I definitely don't love the sleeping part though. I barely slept while I was there.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Betsy,
never
do you like
sleep.
to camp?
I don't at all. And I grew up with in the mountains of Colorado where it was very like everybody camps, and to party you had to camp. But I hated it so much. It's like I don't ever need to do this again. I like being comfortable. I like having a bed. I like having air conditioning.
Same.
I like being able to watch like Guy Fieri as I lay in that bed
Hell
with the
yeah.
air conditioning blasting. Yeah, I can't. I'm not at all. I've never. Yeah, I don't need to do that.
I don't even like to be outside in the heat with a mask on. I find that to be like, has anyone ever suffered a worse fate than the sweat collecting under my mask and in my bra?
But you wouldn't have to wear a mask if you were out there camping, would you?
Right.
No, I'm just saying that's how much I can't stand being physically uncomfortable. Like
Well,
camping
why don't you have
would
your
require.
husband take the kids out, and you stay at home, and Allison pampers Allison.
Oh,
I like that. I like the sound of that.
yeah.
You guys, earlier there was something I was going to bring up, and I felt that it was rich and vital, and I can't remember, which just means I will file it away for another show, but I feel sad that I don't get to bestow the grandeur of that idea upon you because I don't know what it was. Does anyone feel that there's something we are leaving out just in general? Or do you feel satiated?
California raisins are so cool. Who's that? Who's that? That's weird.
A very unrecognizable voice. I don't know who that was.
I watched the Claymation Carol of the Bells today. That was amazing.
Isn't it so good?
Yes.
It's perfect comedy.
I was watching for, like you said, like they heighten it. That was really funny.
It's perfect. Perfect comedy. I was drunk after sometime after we recorded, and I was screaming about loving it, which I do often. And my friends were like, "You should get that bell tattooed on your body." And when I was drunk, I was like, "Yes, let's do it tonight." But we'll see. But
Do you have any tattoos?
No.
I don't
But
either.
might as well go big and get a California Raisins Christmas special character, right?
I think
Hell
that's.
yeah.
What if you went in and they're like, "We just did this one."
Yeah. Everybody's wanting to get this one.
You have to find your new soulmate.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, I hosted a Zoom party, which was super fun. It was for the patrons, for my Patreon subscribers. And it was super duper fun. And I just was like floating. My heart felt so full afterwards. And of course I did wonders that because I took Wendy's heart medication. But I know I really was like feeling very I'm so grateful for my listeners and for the community of super nice people that is cropped up around this show. So thank you to all of you. Patreon.com/Alison Rosen. Bonus episodes. Daniel and I went to a party and he had an exchange with someone that made him so irritated that he had to like talk about it on the show. So that is just a Patreon only kind of thing. And also there's a level where you can text me and I'll text you back, and it's all sorts of fun, and also other stuff. And you can see the video of this very show, that long interlude where I demonstrated that the pen draws even upside down. You can see that.
You could see it
with your own two eyes. Patreon.com/Alison Rosen. Also, Monday show with Robert Eiler from Sopranos, from Pajama Pants podcast. He took 35 Molly in one night. And what I was wondering is...
35?
Yes, that was my reaction as well. Is it 30? Because when I was writing the episode summary...
It wouldn't be 35 of them.
No, he was very
35.
clear about
Took
35.
35.
But is it Yes. He had worked his way up. But here's the question. Is it 35 tabs, 35 mollies, 35 molly? Like, what is the syntax for that?
I only know codeine. I don't know anything about Molly.
I think it's tabs of molly. But I don't know.
That's a shit ton, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. He took a shit ton.
Whoa.
I mean, he just kept saying 35 Molly.
Is that what he said? Because I think I wrote 35 molly and then I changed it to 35 tabs of I don't know. In my day, it was called Euphoria, and you had to exchange an egg to get it. That is not true, but it's a reference to Beverly Hills 90210.
An egg?
Did you see that episode of 90210 where they went to a rave? Emily Valentine took them to a rave, and they went to a
Like an egg?
Yeah, that was like the code. You had to exchange an egg. And then he'd give the guy behind the counter at like a gas station or convenience store would give them directions to the rave. And then they took Euphoria, which was like, there was just a 4. That's how you knew someone dealt Euphoria, which was ecstasy, which is
the creator of that show went to my high school.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
Yes.
Darren Star?
Star, and his father was a dentist, and my father was also a dentist, and they were friendly. But Darren,
That's a fun fact.
it really is not. But he based 90210 sort of on my high school in Maryland.
Really?
Yeah.
Where? Remind me, in Maryland?
Yeah, Potomac, Maryland was Winston Churchill High School. He graduated like 10 years before I did, but I guess he brought elements of Churchill into the 90210.
Interesting. Did you find it to be a very...
Well, I'm going to blow your mind. I've never seen 90210.
Well, no. Did you find your high school to be very cliquey?
It was a bit
And
cliquey. Yeah.
My mind is blown, yes.
Yeah, I know it would be. All right, play that
Yeah.
bit again. About the fact.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Wait, I'll set it up for you. And my mind is blown that you've never seen 90210.
That's a fun fact.
I love that because it actually is gently undercutting, which was not the intention when Jackie recorded it. But anyway, yes, was your high school cliquey?
It was quite cliquey and it was quite preppy. And when I went to high school, they had a smoking section. They had stoners. It was the whole deal. You had athletes. It was really like Breakfast Club. Everyone was in their own little world. I think now people are nicer to each other. There's less bullying, and there's less cliques. From what I see in my daughter's class, is actually a real emphasis on not being a bully, not being an asshole.
Good.
Yeah, which is great because
That's
when I went to
so
school, everyone
nice.
was an asshole.
Yeah, when we were naming our kids, every name I would come up with, Daniel. I used to joke that the kid's name is just going to be "Oh God, no," because every name I came up with, he'd be like, "Oh God, no." But every name, he would explain why we can't choose that one because this is how they're going to make fun of the kid if we give him that name. And I was like, I don't think it's like that as much anymore.
It's not.
And
it's very discouraged to mock anyone for anything.
Good.
Is that how you learned that Daniel used to be a bully?
Yeah, right?
He really wasn't, though, I don't think.
No, I can't picture that.
I really don't think he was, although on aforementioned Patreon bonus episode, he explained, and I was like, get a load of this guy, that when he came into, this was amazing, when he came into high school, he was one of the popular kids, but he found the other popular kids boring. He preferred like the freaks and the creative people and the artistic people. And I was like, that is what unpopular people wish was true about them. I mean, maybe it's true, but like imagine the social cachet and freedom of being like, I am popular. I choose to spend time with unpopular people. Like usually you don't get that much agency in high school.
Right, but that's the great thing about life. Now you have a Patreon page that's filled with people that you would have wanted to hang out with in high school.
Yes.
You can choose your friends now. And that's the great thing about, I think, being an adult is you can really just sort of guide your way through life and avoid the assholes and just hang out with the cool people.
I agree. Yes. For me, every bit of independence I've gotten as I've gotten older has been welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It rules.
It really does. And you can be with people that you dreamed about being from a kid's standpoint, I was very lonely, very isolated. And now that I can meet people like you, Betsy, everyone else, it's pretty great that like-minded people can hang out together.
Yeah. It's really neat.
This has been really fun, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for playing along as I work out the kinks of my soon-to-be taking over the world news quiz format that I invented. Yeah, this was great. Listen, if you'd like what you're hearing, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're following whatever the terminology is on your app of choice. And please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever. It helps out the show. It helps people find the show. Tell your friends about the show. Did I mention that I'm on Cameo? I am. Betsy, where can we find you? What should we look out for?
Ooh. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Betsy Sodaro. And I'm on a Fox animated show called Duncanville, which airs every Monday at 9:30. But then on Fox, and then it's on Hulu the next day. So check it out. It's real. It's fun. It's cool.
Awesome. I forgot to mention. I always forget to mention, but it's not for any good reason. If you would like to, so I'm an Amazon influencer. I don't like to bring it up, but I have put together a shop where you can shop my podcast equipment, my makeup, my home stuff, my beauty stuff for the kids. There's all sorts of stuff that I really like and use. Amazon.com/shop/Alison Rosen. Amazon.com/shop/Alison Rosen. Okay, enough of me. Mike, thank you so much for joining.
Oh my God, this is so much fun.
I feel like we merely scratched the surface, so you will have to come back.
I would love that.
But tell us what to look out for and where we can find you, etc.
All right. I'm on Instagram, Mike B. Sachs. B is for Brian. That's also the Twitter handle. And I have 2 books coming out in September. One called Randy, a memoir, and the other is Stinker Lets Loose, the novelization.
Excellent. Thank you. Tony, what about you?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
and my podcast Bizarre Albums every Tuesday, and that's really and then the Motion City Soundtrack Tour next year. Tickets on sale now. That tour is happening in January, hopefully.
I think it will.
It'll happen.
What's that?
You gonna buy a new chair?
Am I gonna buy a new chair?
Yeah, the one that you collapsed.
Right. We'll see if the shows happen. Maybe we'll see how they do.
I think Tony.
Do it, Tony.
Yeah, do it.
You deserve it.
Get a new
thanks.
chair, dude.
Alison,
Like-
the millipedes. What's going to happen with the millipedes?
What is going to happen with the millipedes? I don't know. I'm like praying for drought now, and I like the rain, but I don't want.
Bug
We'll
bomb.
see.
Bug bomb.
Bug bomb.
I might have to, but getting all the shit out of the bathroom is going to be really hard because we have a lot of stuff in there. But this is a topic for another day. Listen, thank you guys so much. So fun having you on. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen Show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go. Yeah, Alison Rosen